In today's world, we are all using the API for each and every service. Like, let's say you are buying something clothes, or you are giving some data to the server, or you are getting the response from the server. That is all about the API. But behind the scene, sometimes it also happens like you are not getting the exact data which you want, or you are getting the data which you don't want right now. And sometimes it also happens like you are not getting the data within a time frame, and result of that, the API fails. And henceforth, you have to use the or you have to leverage the API in a such a way that it can give the exact data which you want. No less, no more. That is the concept of GraphQL API. Hello everyone, this is Shubhranshu Panda, and today we'll discuss about all about the of GraphQL API. What is GraphQL API? What is the benefits of it? What are the limitations of it? And how we can leverage that in our LWC, or you can say in Salesforce. And we'll also explore some demo around that. So without any delay, let's start our today's session. So first, we'll introduction to the GraphQL. GraphQL, what is GraphQL? GraphQL is a powerful query language for APIs that allow clients to request only the data they need, exactly what we need. That is the core concept of GraphQL. Unlike REST, it provides a more efficient and flexible approach to data fetching, enabling developers to build dynamic and responsive application. So in this session, we'll guide you each and every step, like how can you can get this data, or how can you build the GraphQL. The core concept of GraphQL. At the heart of GraphQL, it's a core concept of three main things: queries, mutation, and subscription. Query is nothing about you are fetching the data from the server. Mutation is all about the CRUD operation, and subscription maintain the real-time data updates. Understanding this concept is essential for leveraging the GraphQL. But in a Salesforce, if we talk about, there are only two types as of now, that is a query and mutation. And also remember, mutation is only available which is equal to the 59 version, I guess, and all later on. So let's take an example. I hope you are ordering the food, as we are all doing the same. So what the app is looking like we can get the uh, tandoori, or we can get the biryani, or we can get the um, dessert, you can say, what, all in one app. So that is the core concept of GraphQL as well. So you don't have to go to the each and every restaurant and looking for the same food in every restaurant. You have to search only the thing which you want, and order will be supplied to you as per your menu. So that is a small example. I hope you understand this. But you not, then don't worry. We'll discuss about in more depth. So we'll discuss about the benefits first. Like, what is the benefit? GraphQL offers us several benefits, such as reduce the data overfetching. This is the main concept of GraphQL, you can say. You don't have to give the all of the data from your server to the client. If it is don't require, then why you have to give the data, right? So that is the reduce of data overfetching. Improve performance. Exactly. If you are not giving the extra data, so it will also improve your performance, right? And strong type system. It allows for single endpoint access, making API management simpler and more effective. This flexibility enhances the development experience and leads to better user satisfaction. So we'll understand this in next slides, but you can remember this. You have to only require only one endpoint. Unlike we are developing the different REST API for different objects, that is not required in a GraphQL, and that is a magic of GraphQL as well. So implementing of GraphQL is required the two. You can leverage or you can build a GraphQL using the two tools, Altair GraphQL client. You can download it from the website easily. You can get it, or you can use the Postman. I'll suggest to use the Altair GraphQL because it has a proper documentation and you can go through it and you can don't have to remember each and every syntax. So that is the benefit of Altair. But yeah, like guys are also experienced better in a Postman, so that can also use in a Postman. All right, so let's do some hands-on without any delay. So first we'll discuss about the LTR, the the software which you are using. So we'll go to the I am using right now. Yeah, we are using the LTR GraphQL client here. I'm not using the software as of now. It is only the Chrome extension which you will also get easily in the Chrome extension. But if you want to like install the GraphQL LTR client, then also you can download it and install in your system. I'll give you the link of installation in my video at the bottom of description. But first we'll look like how it is looking in in a LTR. Okay, so what you are seeing in the left side, this is the request which you are building. Don't worry about like it is a complex, but I'll give you the quick solution about this. And remember, we are talking about the one endpoint only, so only this we have to remember. This is your domain. Sorry, this is you have a domain which you are using. Like if you are using the developer org, so it will be a dved, or you are using the sandbox, then it will be differ. But after that, this will be constant, like service slash data version of your Salesforce org, then GraphQL, and don't require anything else after this. This is all about of GraphQL. So this is the query response, or this is the query the request you can say, and this is the result. So if you are, I'll minimize this, and you can see there are two main things, data and errors. So this is the two response, this is the two nodes you can say, data and errors. If you are giving, if you are getting something error, let's say I am putting this dot dot and I am send request this. Oh, okay. Let me just retry it. Give me a moment. Alright, so my barrier token is expired, that's why it was giving the error. But as of now, like you can see, data is empty and error is showing in the error array. So this is the you can say the architecture or the behavior, like how it is giving the data and errors while you are giving the exit request. So we'll discuss about some examples on this, and after this we'll also discuss about using one LWC component. So first let me just give you an example of simple account data. Or let's give me a moment. Alright, so first we'll take an example of simple account fetch of data. So there are multiple types of you can do in a GraphQL. As of now, there are two types as we discussed, query and mutation. Don't worry about that. I'll give you an example of each and every one. So first, if you let's say I'll remove all of this and we'll build from the scratch. Okay, this is also clear. I'll give the okay. It is clear now. If you don't have any syntax, okay, let's say, so you have to just go to this docs and you have to click on the docs. Sometime you have to click on the refresh button as well to get the exact documentation. So as of now, I am also learning about this GraphQL. So I have don't require remember the syntax. So we'll get the help of this documentation. So once it is loaded, we can start it. Alright, it's loaded the exact documentation. Sometime it take time, but after that it will give you quickly. So first of all, you can see there are two types of nodes. That is a query and second one is a mutation. We'll discuss about the mutation after this, but we'll discuss first. We'll see the response of like how we can build the query. Okay. So first is query. So let's start with query. Okay, and give this query to account. Okay, now you have to just start the node. Then you have a two type of UI API and rate limit. So we'll use the UI API. So you can ignore the warnings as of now. We'll put the limit of UI API as okay. See, it giving the syntax also. UI API. Then inside of UI API, there is a query concept. Then we'll start the query. See, I am not also remember the exact syntax. I am also looking in the documentation. Okay. So inside of the query, see, you can get all of this documentation, but as of now, I'm only fetching the data. So I'm using this type of nodes inside of the query. Oh, let me back to the query, this query node. Yeah, inside of the query, you have to put the what type of object you want in the data. So I want the account data. So I put the account. Then you have to just start the node. So I'll click on this account because we don't want anything else. We require only the account data. So inside of this, there are different like arguments, and what type of it is. This is account connection, and after this, you have to give the edges. So edges you have to put. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Once you put the URL here, then you have to also give the barrier token here, or you can give the any type of this O2 or API key. But I am using the barrier token. So how can you get the barrier token? If you are using the VS Code, then just type the sfds org display. That is the command to get these. This is sfdx org display. Then you will get the URL, you will get the new access token and everything else. So I am using this. After this, okay, so we'll go to this edges now. After this edges, we'll go to the node. Then inside of node, what we have, then we can see the fields. The fields I want the ID and the name. Remember, you don't have to put the comma here, and for the other fields you have to give the value attribute, but for the ID it is not required. You can give the value or the display value. There are three different types, I guess, but as of now I only want the value type. I also go what type of fields. Let's say I want industry field as well. So I'll put this and I'll put the display value. That's all. See, we don't have to remember the syntax. This is all about it. Like how can you build your first GraphQL request? This is a magical, right? Okay, now we'll post this and let's see what happens. See, we got the response, right? So to get the data, you can see we have put the UI API inside of query, then account and edges. Under the edges we have a node and ID name. For every field we have a value or the display value, but for the ID we don't have the extra node for it. Remember this. And also there are some limitations around this, or you can say the best practices of GraphQL. By default it give you the 10 records of every account or every object, but you can give the pagination around that, so you'll get the offset, or you can give the after that the 10 records you will get the response, so you can use that. But as of now we are only using the core concept or how can leverage this. So this is all about like how can you build the first ever GraphQL API. So this is all about it, and we'll give you one more example. This is the example of account and cases. So uh, this don't you have to don't have to remember this, the concept of like how we are using this. This is the syntax given by the docs only by Altair, so you can leverage that. But in the this example what we are getting like put the request, we want the accounts and we have want the cases where account ID is matching these accounts, and accounts are named like United and industry should be energy. So we are using these account IDs of these cases, and we want the account ID, priority and subject of the cases within the accounts. So this is the some, you can say, the complex example, but you don't have to worry about it. We have their document, right? So you can use that. But like you are, if you are putting these conditions, then you will also get this, like how we are giving the accounts. So accounts, under this the values are coming. Under this, if we having any cases around the account, then we'll give the cases as well. So see, inside of this energy and United, we put the condition, right? Name like United and industry is energy. So account name is United Oil start with, and industry is energy. So for that cases we have something like this. So this is the one inner query example of GraphQL. Then we'll go to the mutation concept. Okay, so there are you can give the CRUD operation around this, but as of now we'll see the insertion example. So what we have done, say all of this you can get from this document which we discussed, but as of now we'll give you an idea like how it is working. So what we have done here, we put simple example of mutation for the insertion. We put the name of account example. Inside of UI API we put the account create. Then we have to give the different inputs. As of now we have to give the account, and inside of the what type of fields we want, so we put the name only. This is the only mandatory in my org, so it can happen like the different mandatory fields are there in your org, that you have to look into this. But as of now, like the concept is you have to put the different fields around this, like inside of this account. Then in the response what type of data you want after the insertion that is required. So I put these conditions, sorry, in a request, what type of data, and in the response I'm getting this type of, like, once the insertion is done, then we'll getting this ID and the value of Trailblazer Express we have passed. So we are getting this response. So there are different examples are there. uh, Let me go to the mutation. Yeah, so you have to also remember this is in a beta version, so there are some limitations around this. So I'm not going into the details of mutations, but yeah, this is the like you can say the, in a future it will like give the more idea about like how we can leverage in our LWC. But as of now, this is not supporting in our LWC. So mutation is something like we can explore more in the future, but as of now you can put those in your API and you can give these APIs to some third parties. So that is the concept of as of now, but this is in a beta version, so I'm not going into the details about this. But you can go to this documentation. This is the beautiful documentation given by the Salesforce. So this they gave the like best examples around this, so you can go to this website. I'll put this like URL in my description after this video. So I'll go to this. Yeah, so this is done. Then we have also have the example of context. Similarly, like we have fetching the accounts, so you can order by. So there are concept of where condition, there are concept of order by something you can put in your objects and you will get the response. Remember, there are limitations around this. You will get only the 10 data, 10 records for the first time, but you can put the pagination like we have discussed in the account fetch. And this is the very important example. So you can see so let's say for an example, you have a requirement to give the data of three different objects. And what we'll do, like we can put the wrapper, or we can put the different type of data around in something wrapper class, and we can give the response in the one API. But this is also like uh, we are expanding our code to the different classes, and we have to put the different we have put the number of lines of codes into that, so that it will give you the exact data, and you have to face the different queries around that, right? But this is the like you can say the best benefit of GraphQL. Like you can put the multiple objects around in a GraphQL API inside only. So in this example, I put the account and I put the lead object, and I'll pass the different type of fields which we want, only the fields which we want, and don't want the different fields. So this is the core concept of GraphQL. So I put the ID and name inside of account, and for the lead I want only the first name and last name, and with ID also as well. So here you can see I don't like have put the different like limitations, like what type of limit we want in the account and lead. So by default it giving you the 10 records of each account and lead. So inside of it, let's say in a lead, so you will get the first name, last name and ID of the lead for every lead. And for the account, inside of the node you can see the ID and name value for the account. So this is the best benefit you can say for the GraphQL. uh, we'll go to one example of LWC. So you can also build your GraphQL inside your LWC as well. So that is a good example of our Salesforce developers. So we'll go to that example as well. But before that, you have to remember we cannot use the mutation as of now because that is in a beta version. So we'll only fetch the data and we can show the data into our LWC component. So that is the, you can say, the limitation, and I'm not saying this is the limitation of GraphQL. This is in a beta version, that's why they don't put this into the wire framework of mutation. But you can go to that website and you can check in the future if they can put the mutation for the LWC component as well. But for as of now, what we have developed, I'll show you. So this is the small example of GraphQL using the LWC. I hope you will like it. So what we have done here, so I am putting the account type field, and depend on this selected of this pick list value, let's say customer direct, so we'll get all of the customer direct cases around that account type. And if we put the let's say prospect type of cases, so we'll get those cases as well with the name, what is the status, and what type of account type. So we have put the formula field around in our cases for that using the account lookup field, and we are getting this output. So I'll go to the LWC component. I'll quickly show you the what we have done here. So I'll something like I'll close this. So in a example of HTML, first I'll show you what we have done. So this is a simple, we have put the combo box for the pick list type, and for the showing of the cases, we have put the templates, and we are iterating over the records of data, and we are showing the case number, and we are showing up the status and account type of using the formatted text. So guys, you don't worry about the code, as I am every time I have discussed these things, I'll put this code into my GitHub bucket, and you can explore into my that GitHub bucket. So for a time being, I am already developed this. I'll show you the code and like what we have developed, so you can understand better. Like you can explore it using my GitHub link. And if you have any doubts or any suggestion, then you can ping me in my LinkedIn or my YouTube channel. But for now, let's explore this component. Okay. So for the account type of pick list, okay, so remember we have put the account type pick list here. So for that also, we are not using any Apex controller here. That is the best benefit which I personally like. So for this, I am using the UI object info API. Using that, I am getting the account object. From the object info, I am getting the field API name of type, which is I put it here. So using this 4 imports, I am getting the account type of pick list value. And for after this, we are using the GraphQL API import. So there are 2 type of main things, GQL and GraphQL. So I'll discuss about this. Guys, give me 1 minute. Okay, somehow my PC got hanged, so no worry. So we'll discuss about main things of GraphQL, how we are using this GQL and GraphQL. So inside of wire method, we have to put the GraphQL. Using the GraphQL, you'll get all of this response, and this keyboard, this keyword GQL. Using the GQL, you'll inside of Salesforce, behind of the Salesforce scene, when you run this component, so it will understand like it is type of GraphQL. So this is the main keyword of GQL. That's why we are importing into the query. So remember, this is not inside of which we have giving the example. So slightly it's a different, but yeah, the core concept of is the same. So after this, we are using the same query. We have put the name of case with account. So this is something like when you pass the variables. so we are passing the value type like account type. So that's why we have put the same variable value type. Remember, you have to put the dollar sign here for the reactive property. That's why we have put this. And what type of this pick list, sorry, this type of value is. So I put the string variable here, and then symbol. You have to put the EUI API, and after this query, then your object name. We have put the where condition. Remember, inside of this where condition you have to start the node, then you have to put the account type. And let's say you have a multiple where condition or multiple and or condition, then this there are lots of example in the documentation inside it. So you have to put this and condition beside of this. Then also this is the keywords, like if you are using the equal to operator, then you have to use the eq. Then if you are using the greater than sign, then ge is symbol, I guess. So you can explore in the documentation. I'll give you the link about it. So we have simple create one like a field inside of case, that is a formula field of account associated type field. So I am putting this value type of equal to, like whenever we are choosing this account type, it will go to this value type. I put the handle change, so that's why. So let's go to this uh, combo box, and on change we have put the handle type change. Okay, so once handle type is changed, then it will put the event detail value to the value type, and we are using this value type to equal to that account type, so it will get these cases. And simple, after this the ages, node id, case number we want, status we want, and account type we want. And once it is done, you have to close this GQL. This is the syntax of, you have to remember this some syntax, but the other things are the same. Then we have to put the variable, what type of variables we are using. So I have a formula variables. So if you have a multiple variables, then you can also comma separate it, and you will get these variables. So I am passing these variables to get the GraphQL data. So value type we have from the value types, so we are using the value type here, so that's why we have to pass these variables. Then once it is done, then you have a GraphQL query result. So this is the method name. I am getting the data and errors similarly what we have in our adapter. So inside of data, remember we have a UI API inside of query, then inside of this the object name, ages, and other things. So I am putting this into the map variables, and I am getting this all of records of array of records into the records variable. I had declared the track variables and declares error variables. So if something went wrong, then it will put the errors inside the error variables. Thus this is the overall example or overall explanation of JS code. And in the meta XML, I put the app page, home page, and record page for the exposures of our LWC component. And after this, the simple thing we have put lightning card to showcase the case number with case status and the account type which we have choose. So using this, we'll get this response, like if we choose the installation partner, then we'll get all of cases which having the installation partner type. If we have a technology partner, we'll get these cases. Let's say we don't have a channel partner reseller type, then it will not get any of cases. Customer channel, then it'll give you all of this. So this is the small example of GraphQL using the LWC. You can explore many more concepts. We'll give you the uh, link about it. Also, this is the code. I'll give you also this link in my description box, so you can explore the this GraphQL API documentation. There are lots of concept around it. There are limitations also there, so you have to remember those things. Some limitation I have already explained, like mutation is not there. You have a 59 version or later on, then you can only use the mutation. There are only 10 minimum record that can give you in output, so there are some limitations also there. But yeah, behind of everything, like, or beside of everything, the GraphQL is the best of all APIs, because uh, this will give you the data which only we want, not the other things. So this is the best thing of GraphQL. So this is all about it in our today's session. And yes, if you really like this video, please like this video and share with your buddies, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much everyone. Have a good day or good night. Bye.